Can excessive kindness be more harmful than beneficial? In a society that often associates kindness with virtue, it may seem paradoxical to suggest that one can be too generous. However, when we consider the philosophy of Stoicism, we discover a framework that advocates for balance, wisdom, and self-care, suggesting that our impulses to always act with kindness can sometimes divert us from personal well-being and a rational life. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of maintaining emotional resilience and not letting external circumstances overly disturb our inner tranquility. By constantly placing the needs and desires of others above our own, we must ask ourselves, are we truly leading a balanced life? Stoic teachings highlight that true wisdom involves recognizing the limits of our generosity and ensuring that our acts of kindness do not compromise our own moral and emotional stability. This discussion goes beyond philosophical reflections and has practical implications. It addresses everyday situations where our inability to refuse requests or our continuous efforts to please others can lead to emotional exhaustion, strained relationships, and missed opportunities for personal growth. By examining the potential downsides of excessive kindness, we are not minimizing the importance of compassion and generosity. On the contrary, we are exploring how to exercise these virtues wisely, ensuring they enhance our happiness and the well-being of those around us, rather than becoming sources of stress and resentment. This approach aligns with the Stoic belief that virtue lies in moderation, and that the wisdom of our choices reflects our understanding of life's complexities. Let's explore this intriguing paradox together. How can kindness, meant to connect us with others, sometimes isolate us? How can our desire to be liked or needed divert us from making decisions that align with our true selves? By delving deeper into these questions, we will discover insights on how to balance the forces of kindness while guarding against its excesses, promoting a life of balance, fulfillment, and true Stoic wisdom. So if you appreciate what we are discussing here, I would simply ask you for a free favor. Press the subscribe button. Let's dive in. This is not just about temporary fatigue. It's about understanding a state of complete emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress, often resulting from the relentless pursuit to meet the emotional needs of others at the expense of our own. Stoic philosophy, which values moderation and self-regulation, warns us against the dangers of losing ourselves in external duties and the expectations of others. Stoics assert that our primary responsibility is towards ourselves, not out of selfishness, but to ensure that we are strong, stable, and capable before helping others. Stoicism does not call for a withdrawal from societal responsibilities, but advocates for a sustainable engagement with the world. It teaches that while altruism is commendable, it should not lead to self-neglect. Stoics maintain that we must care for our own needs with as much vigor as we respond to those of others, maintaining a healthy self-esteem and nurturing our capabilities and well-being. This philosophy also encourages us to deeply reflect on our motivations for helping others. Are we seeking validation, or are we genuinely committed to the welfare of others? This introspection is crucial as it helps clarify our intentions and align our actions with our true values. It ensures that our generosity stems from an authentic desire to do good, rather than an unconscious need to be needed or to feel important. Moreover, Stoicism teaches the importance of accepting the limits of our influence. We can offer support and share wisdom, but we cannot control the outcomes in others' lives. Recognizing this can relieve us of unnecessary burdens and help us establish healthy emotional and practical boundaries. This awareness allows us to provide truly constructive help rather than enabling or being overly intrusive. By understanding and practicing these Stoic principles, we can prevent emotional exhaustion and stay committed to a path of personal and moral development. We learn to balance the duties of our life with our personal growth, ensuring that neither is sacrificed at the expense of the other. This balance not only promotes our own resilience and happiness, but also makes us more effective in our efforts to positively contribute to the lives of others. In practical terms, this means being clear about your limits and communicating them effectively. It involves understanding your capacity to give, whether it's time, energy, or resources, and not exceeding it at the expense of your own well-being. It also means being able to say no when necessary, an act that is not just a rejection but a vital affirmation of self-respect and personal priorities. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to engage in constant self-evaluation to ensure that our actions remain aligned with our deepest convictions and values. This reflective practice helps us identify when our desire to be kind turns into self-sacrifice, or when our actions no longer serve our initial goal of promoting the common good. By cultivating a balanced approach to kindness, which includes self-care and personal growth, we can ensure that our actions are not only beneficial for others but also enriching for ourselves. This approach leads to a more fulfilling and virtuous life, characterized by meaningful relationships and a strong sense of personal integrity. Ultimately, Stoicism does not call for a withdrawal from acts of kindness, but advocates a wise and measured approach to altruism. It teaches that true benevolence involves thoughtful consideration of others' needs as well as our own capacities and goals. By practicing discernment and establishing appropriate boundaries, we can extend our kindness in a truly useful and sustainable way, both for others and ourselves. This is the essence of a life that is not only virtuously outward but also rewarding and peaceful inwardly. Frequently sacrificing their own needs for the sake of others, it is crucial to remember that self-respect and personal boundaries are not selfish, but necessary to maintain one's health and happiness. Stoicism does not advocate a life devoid of kindness or compassion. On the contrary, it promotes a balanced approach where someone's generosity does not come at the expense of their own well-being. In practice, establishing and maintaining boundaries can be challenging, especially for those who naturally tend to put others first. However, Stoicism offers guidance on how to strengthen one's resolve through the development of virtues such as wisdom and courage. These virtues enable individuals to make thoughtful decisions about when and how to help others, ensuring that their acts of kindness are conscious and not merely reactive. Moreover, by prioritizing rational decision-making over emotional impulses, individuals can avoid the pitfalls of overload and overextension. This approach allows everyone to engage in helping behaviors that are truly fulfilling and impactful, rather than draining and detrimental. It also helps to build and maintain relationships that are reciprocal and enriching, rather than one-sided and exploitative. Seneca and other Stoic philosophers have emphasized the importance of aligning one's actions with their deepest values and principles. This alignment ensures that someone's kindness is not just a moral gesture, but also a sustainable practice that positively contributes to their own life and those around them. By practicing this form of balanced kindness, individuals can achieve a greater sense of satisfaction and purpose, ultimately leading a life that is both virtuous and fulfilling. It is therefore important for anyone struggling with the balance between kindness and self-care to reflect on their interactions and commitments. Are these activities in accordance with your fundamental values? Do they improve your life and well-being? If not, it may be time to rethink your approach to kindness and generosity. By adopting a Stoic approach to these questions, you can ensure that your actions are not only kind, but also wise, rational, and ultimately beneficial for you and those you choose to help. By ultimately integrating Stoic principles into our approach to relationships and kindness, we pave the way for truly beneficial and authentic interactions. Stoicism does not teach us to withhold kindness, but rather to dispense it judiciously, ensuring that our generous acts do not compromise our values or mental health. This mindful approach to kindness allows us to satisfy our natural inclination to be helpful and caring, while maintaining our integrity and emotional stability. It helps us avoid the trap of becoming enablers of others' dependencies or being exploited for our generosity. Instead, we foster relationships based on mutual respect and genuine appreciation. In practice, this means being clear about our boundaries and communicating them effectively. We must be willing to say no when necessary and accept that it does not make us less kind or compassionate. On the contrary, it makes our kindness more impactful because it is given in a sustainable way and true to ourselves. Moreover, by embracing Stoic wisdom, we learn that true kindness involves an element of courage, the courage to maintain our boundaries and insist on mutual respect in our relationships. This courage is not about confrontation, but the necessary honesty to express what we truly think and feel, even if it might not always please others. The Stoic approach also emphasizes the importance of self-reflection to understand our motivations and behaviors. By regularly examining why we act as we do, especially in our relationships, we can better align our actions with our deep values and ensure that our kindness is both authentic and wise. Thus, Stoicism offers invaluable guidance on how to navigate the complexities of interpersonal relationships. It teaches us that while being kind and helpful is important, these qualities must be balanced with self-respect and mindfulness to truly contribute to a fulfilling and virtuous life. By applying these principles, we not only improve our own well-being, but also the quality of our interactions, leading to deeper and more meaningful connections with others. And balance teaches that maintaining one's mental health is just as important as caring for others. This philosophy asserts that the well-being of the individual is the foundation of any significant contribution to the well-being of others. Without this foundation, acts of kindness can become unsustainable and potentially harmful to both the giver and the receiver. The Stoics understood the dangers of living a life in constant service to the desires and expectations of others without regard for one's own needs. Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius all spoke of the importance of self-care and the necessity of sometimes placing one's own well-being at the forefront. They believed that a truly virtuous life involves making wise choices that balance personal interest with the interests of others. To apply this in practical terms, Stoicism encourages setting healthy boundaries. These boundaries allow individuals to say no when necessary, prioritize their needs, and ensure that their acts of kindness are truly helpful and not detrimental to their own health. Setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness, but a crucial aspect of self-management that enables lasting interactions and relationships. Furthermore, Stoicism promotes the practice of mindfulness, being aware of our motivations, recognizing our limits, and understanding the impact of our behaviors on our mental state. This mindfulness helps prevent the onset of resentment or feelings of being exploited, which can occur in unbalanced relationships where one party consistently gives too much. Stoicism also teaches the value of introspection and the importance of aligning one's actions with their values and fundamental principles. By engaging regularly in self-reflection, individuals can ensure that their desire to help and be kind does not stray them from their own path towards personal fulfillment and happiness. This encourages a harmony between doing good for others and doing well for oneself. In summary, while Stoicism places great value on kindness and generosity, it also emphasizes the need to do so wisely and prudently. The philosophy advocates a life where kindness is balanced with self-respect and where acts of generosity do not come at the expense of one's own mental health. By adhering to these principles, one can lead a life that is not only virtuous and kind, but also fulfilling and psychologically healthy. One who is not in good health or is overwhelmed cannot effectively contribute to the well-being of others. This understanding leads to a more holistic approach to care, where the caregiver also takes care of their own needs, ensuring they remain strong, capable, and healthy. Stoics teach that self-regard is not about prioritizing oneself above all others in every situation, but maintaining a balance where self-care is seen as equally important as the care given to others. This balanced approach allows for sustained and more effective engagement in helping and supportive roles. Epictetus often spoke about the importance of focusing on what is within our control, and this philosophy is crucial when it comes to managing our responsibilities towards ourselves and others. By recognizing and respecting our limits, we can make wiser decisions about how much to give and when it might be necessary to step back to replenish our own resources. Seneca, on the other hand, advised not to become too attached to roles or identities that demand incessant altruism. He believed that wisdom lies in knowing when such attachments begin to harm our well-being and acting courageously to adjust our commitments. This might mean setting limits on the help we offer or renegotiating our roles in relationships and communities. In practical terms, implementing Stoic principles involves actions such as setting clear and firm boundaries, saying no when necessary, and taking time to engage in activities that replenish our physical, emotional, and mental energy. It also involves practicing mindfulness and meditation to enhance our awareness of our needs and emotional states. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to cultivate virtues such as temperance, which helps us regulate our impulses to overextend ourselves. It teaches us to exercise prudence in our decisions, ensuring that our actions are in alignment with our capabilities and long-term well-being. By adopting these Stoic practices, we can avoid the pitfalls of self-neglect and ensure that our kindness towards others does not come at the expense of our own health. This leads not only to a more fulfilling and sustainable lifestyle, but also enhances our ability to be compassionate and support others in a healthy, balanced, and truly helpful way, and accept what is beyond. This understanding helps us navigate the complex interactions of giving and receiving without falling into the trap of trying to control outcomes or the behaviors of others, which is often a source of frustration and stress. The emphasis Stoicism places on setting boundaries is not just about self-protection. It also fosters authentic relationships. When boundaries are clear, relationships can develop on a basis of mutual respect and understanding rather than dependency and imbalance. This clarity helps prevent situations where kindness is exploited or taken for granted. Moreover, Epictetus and other Stoics advocate a life of prosouche, or mindful attention to our present actions and attitudes. This mindfulness allows us to be fully aware of our current state and choices, ensuring that our actions are deliberate and aligned with our values. This helps us avoid automatic responses dictated by habit or external pressures, which can lead to overworking or neglecting our needs. By practicing prosouche, we cultivate the ability to respond to situations with reflection and integrity rather than reacting on the basis of emotional impulses. This approach not only improves our personal well-being, but also ensures that our contributions to others are more impactful and meaningful. Stoicism also teaches us that true kindness involves understanding and sometimes tough love. It recognizes that enabling someone's negative patterns or sacrificing our well-being for others is truly beneficial to no one. Instead, Stoicism encourages acts of kindness that promote growth, challenge unhealthy behaviors, and support the common good, all while maintaining each individual's moral and rational integrity. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to kindness is characterized by a deep sense of responsibility. Responsibility towards oneself to maintain health and virtue, and responsibility towards others to engage in a truly helpful and constructive manner. This balanced perspective ensures that our generosity enriches our lives and those of the people around us, creating a cycle of positive influence and mutual support. By integrating these Stoic principles into our daily lives, we can achieve a fulfilling existence that honors both our needs and those of our community. This way of life leads not only to personal contentment and resilience, but also contributes to a healthier and more compassionate society. Stoicism, by fostering a mindset of moderation, courage, and self-awareness, provides a framework that not only improves personal well-being, but also deeply and meaningfully strengthens our interactions with others. By adopting these Stoic principles, we learn to offer support that is not only compassionate, but also wise, ensuring that our actions benefit both ourselves and those we aim to help. This balanced way of living allows us to face life's challenges with a clear and resilient mind, reducing the risk of emotional burnout and enabling us to make more impactful contributions to our communities. By continuing to practice these virtues, we not only enrich our lives, but also create a ripple effect of positivity and strength around us. Stoicism teaches us that true wisdom comes from understanding the interdependence of our actions and their effects, guiding us towards a life of purpose and harmony. By valuing moderation, we avoid the pitfalls of excess, which can lead us astray from our true path. The courage to maintain boundaries allows us to make decisions that preserve our integrity and support our mental health. And through gratitude and contentment, we find pleasure in what we have, reducing the need for external validation, and instead focusing on cultivating genuine connections. This philosophical journey is not solitary. As you apply these lessons, remember that your growth contributes to the strength of the community, and each step towards personal balance and virtue helps elevate those around you. We are all part of a greater tapestry, where the well-being of each individual contributes to the whole. Thank you for engaging with us in this exploration of Stoicism. Your participation enriches our discussions and deepens our collective understanding of how to live a balanced and thoughtful life. For more insights into virtuous living, check out our other videos. Continue to grow, reflect, and cultivate the best in yourself and in your relationships. Your journey towards a balanced life of virtue is a powerful testament to the enduring relevance and wisdom of Stoic philosophy.